So there's a lot of talk now about if the student debt relief will actually happen. Um, as far as I know, there are two cases being brought before the Supreme Court right now to rule on if Biden can do this or not. Um, we'll see. One of the arguments is that this would have to pass through Congress, and this isn't part of the executive branch, and it needs to be legislated and not just done. I don't know. Um, yeah, probably, but a lot of people are going to be upset about this if it does go down that way. And with the Republican majority in the Supreme Court, even though Supreme Court should not be a political thing, but it is. So, unfortunately, for a lot of people, this student debt relief will probably not happen or not happen to the extent it was promised, for better or worse. There are a lot of things, there are a lot of ways this could still go forward as far as it going through Congress and passing that way, as opposed to just Biden deciding that he's going to do this. Will that happen if it goes to Congress? I don't think so. I don't think the Republicans would allow that to happen. They might, but I doubt it. Um, so basically, this sucks, but that's life. I'm still kind of optimistic about it going through, but I wouldn't count on it. And it's been so delayed already that I don't know. I don't feel like it's going to happen. Just like also Biden's promises about legalizing marijuana. And here we are, 2 years into it, and still no real progress on that front, as far as I can tell. Um, State levels, sure, yeah, there has been. But as far as federal, there's seemingly no progress on that issue as well. So, I don't know, campaign promises, they're just that, promises, and they don't seem to come to fruition all the time. And it's also kind of borderline upsetting on the marijuana front that honestly Trump's done the most just by with the farm bill and legalizing hemp, at least as a something. I don't know, maybe it'll happen with Canada and Mexico legalizing. It just seems silly that the US has not come around to that yet, especially with however many states we have legal in, like, I don't know offhand, 14, 16 states, decriminalized in like another 14, 16 states, like 2/3 of the country. It's decriminalized, if not legal, in some form of medical in like 40 plus of the states. So yeah, that's just crazy. And also, I think Oklahoma or something like that is coming up to vote on it in another week or two from me recording this. So that might be another state that just legalizes in the South. Um, it's just insane that we're at this point on at least the marijuana issue that shouldn't be an issue, that should have been solved, honestly, probably during Obama's tenure, but that didn't happen. You could say Obama opened the doors to help, but you could also argue like Clinton did. Um, it's been a long time. I'm not very hopeful on it happening in the next 2 years. Also not very hopeful on the student debt relief. I think if that was going to happen, it should have happened during the COVID times. We should have done some. I know we paused the student loan repayments, which, like, good on us, but I don't think that's enough. I think we should have at least reduced the debt. I would have honestly liked to have seen us, instead of pausing the payments, instead of doing that, doing some kind of debt relief, even if it wasn't the 10 or 20,000, even if it was $1,000 or $2,000, just something. And also, to be clear on this, I don't have any student debt. So I don't exactly have a horse in this race. But I just think we should have done something different. I think college should be just cheaper in and of itself. I don't think it should be necessarily free, but it shouldn't be tens of thousands of dollars. It should be maybe a couple $1,000 to do a 4-year program. You should pay a little bit, but you should not be going into tens of that. It should not be a house. It should not be a car. It should be like, I don't know, $2,000 a year maybe for a full-time college student. It shouldn't be some crazy debt thing. It should be something you can work a part-time job and pay for, like, out of 15 hours a week, and you throw out, like, I don't know, $40 a week towards it for the year, and then there's your $2,000 that year, and you just paid for your year of college. Books, everything included in that. I don't know, that just seems more fair, I guess. I think people should have to pay something, but this is just ridiculous at the point we're at. It just disincentivizes. It's like, why would you want to pay 40, 60, even $80,000 for a 4-year degree to make 20, 30,000 more a year, maybe? Yeah, the math helps, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people are getting a degree because that's what you're told, and then you want to go buy a house, but your degree cost as much as the house, whereas you could have just gotten the loan on the house and been working and pay off that house. And this isn't for all areas of the country, but certainly for the Midwest, there are plenty of homes in the under $80,000 range that don't require a lot of work, that are fine, that you can move in ready, and they're not small. And yeah, sure, you might not get a great job, but a degree isn't guaranteed a great job. I know people with degrees that are making not really more than me without one. So, I mean, it's a risk, like anything in life. But to be fair, I think we need to reduce the cost of college severely. Severely, that needs to be like 80% cheaper. It needs to really really be cheaper and maybe cost what it costs to actually like run the building. And I feel like we should not be making money off of students, people going to college, and whatever that takes. If it takes bigger class sizes, even if if you're doing online learning, or even do a thing where you can do online learning and you don't even need a teacher. It's just a program, it's a book. Do some in-house stuff. Have the state write the textbooks, and you just you just pay to take the class and take the tests and stuff. That should cost basically nothing. Um, that way, all online, don't have to go there. They don't need that infrastructure. It's just keeping the server running and stuff like that, and all the gradings automated. It would be very simple. I get it, it's coming out more like a video game at this point. You just click the right answers, but like there, the textbook's written, especially on stuff that doesn't change, like algebra, calculus, like all that stuff that has stayed the same for probably at this point hundreds of years. Um, we could just write a program, and that class should cost like $60 for the semester, or for the year, actually. And that, I think, would solve a lot of problems.